start. I see we have two students in Lori in the.
Yep.
I recognize the name of the students from executive board, so.
So do I. Whoops. Yeah.
So here we go. Pull the agenda up and get it so you guys can see it. So. Ready? Okay, so start the recording.
Already done.
Already done, okay. So this is the budget and finance meeting for November 5th, 2025. So we'll do roll call.
5:32 p.m.
5:32 p.m. Put a piece of paper out here.
Well, I thought maybe you forgot our names.
What? No.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah.
Exactly. So roll call. Vic.
Here.
John.
Here.
Melanie. Kane is absent for now. So first off is public comment. Any public comment at all?
Yeah, I have one. The bridge really bad coming home.
Isn't it supposed to be closed like tonight and tomorrow?
Yeah, from 7 to 6.
Yeah.
The 5th and 6th. But it's just was a trucker's nightmare tonight.
I believe it. Yeah.
Crazy.
Getting home last night from Beverly Hills for my mom, I had to go up to West Beverly Hills area for her doctor's appointment. And there are so many trucks on the freeway coming back up this way. It was just packed. And I thought, is the bridge closed tonight? And then I looked and realized it was tonight and tomorrow, but it acted like it was closed last night because there are so many trucks backed up. Way far back. So anyway.
Did you got the student names already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Just want to make sure.
Yep. So Vic asks that we go to number 6 first because he has to leave by 6. So we'll do that first. So a discussion about whether there is a need for a special board meeting for budget.
And this can be real quick because when we first discussed this a few meetings back, things were different than they are now. It's kind of been overcome by events for a couple of reasons. One being that we're already, the main way of conserving money would be to have virtual board meetings. We're already doing that for November and December. So that takes us through the end of this year, which is when SB 411 sunsets. So after the first of the year, without any changes, we will not be able to do virtual meetings anyway.
Right.
So there's no reason to have a special meeting about the budget until we know whether we can even have virtual meetings in 2026 and beyond. And SB 707 has been approved at the city. Anyway, it's been approved at the top level, but the city council has to do their part. You know, just like with SB 411, the city council has to approve, and then each of the 99 neighborhood councils can take action on it if they so choose. So the short answer is there's nothing really we can do at this point until we know what happens in 2026 and beyond. So there's no reason, even if we did want to have the meeting and we said, yeah, we're going to have more virtual meetings to save money and be able to use it on neighborhood grants or whatever, until we can even have the meetings in 2026, it's not going to matter what we choose to do.
there's another loophole also in this. Because we have a contract with our audio person, we may be beholden to have to pay him anyway if we cancel meetings and go virtual.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
only because last time I talked to John, I didn't know this, but the contract that he makes, I guess you did it for a year,
it's a yearly
or
contract.
it's a yearly contract. So I understand where that's coming from with him. Yeah,
Right.
you know. And what about Big Nick's?
No, we don't have a contract with him at all. The only
Okay,
person
that's why we can go here at the
minute,
subway or something.
the
But
minute
John,
taker, the minute taker and the audio guy, though, we have yearly contracts with them through the city clerk's office. And if he wanted to press it hard enough and push it, he can make us pay him for the months that he's not doing audio.
So there's nothing in the wording of the contract that says like,
Not for
you
the
know,
city clerk. We do a yearly
when
contract,
needed.
month to month with them. And they're the ones that do the contract.
But there's no wording that says something like when needed and
No, no.
okay. And we've got a hand up too.
Yeah, Lori.
Hi, am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just sort of on the same subject, is somebody notifying all the schools that your November and December meetings are virtual? So, because students are going to end up going to Peck Park if they don't know.
oh yeah, that's true.
I'm emailing the government teacher tonight. I will, once I get the two names that are here tonight. I email her.
But is
And
that
in
all this?
addition, excuse me, in addition to that, I suggest you put a couple of signs up at Peck Park. So if any students do show up, they know that they can go on to the meeting virtually. But yeah, I just worry about a parent who's just dropping their kid off and then leaves.
Right.
And
I
is
agree.
it only the one school that comes all the time, San
No.
Pedro High?
No. And I don't have the contacts. Last month, all those kids, some of them were from Wilmington. And I don't have the email for them, only Paula and Pedro.
Melanie,
Wow.
they could be living in Wilmington, but they actually could be going to San Pedro High School. Or you?
Well, that's true.
Yes.
But they
Or
said that
Pola, because Pola's chartered. So
that's
they can
true.
come from other
Yeah.
places and go to Pola too.
Yeah.
Well, so we got to do it to Pola and to San Pedro High.
Maybe you could contact Rachel Brunke for Pola.
Okay.
She teaches there.
And just for the record, Kane Nicholas arrived at 5:39 p.m.
Yeah, so there's a lot of variables, and also it's not going to be much of a saving factor if we're like starting it in January or in February or March, you know. It's only $200 a meeting for food. And then if we were out the audio, to go virtual full time for maybe $600, $700, $800. It just, you know, especially when there's so much contingency about.
Well, that's why we need to have the meeting to decide whether that is worth it. But until we know, until we even have the authorization to go virtual,
Ray doesn't want to have
in 26, it doesn't matter.
To have it incorporated into the board meeting. A vote, straight up vote, yes or no, if we do it. That's why he wanted us to do it here. We'll decide here whether it goes to the board or not, and it's just a straight up yes or no at the board meeting.
No, no, actually, we decided before that we were going to wait till we had the rollover money and then set a date for the meeting. We had already decided we're going to have the meeting.
Right, but that's if we didn't get rollover money.
No, that was including the rollover.
Well, everybody's saying something different to me, like, oh, we got the rollover money, we don't need to do this. So.
Well, are we not going to do NPGs? Are we not going to do a newsletter? That's part of the reason for having the meeting.
What we're going to do is, that'll be addressed too, because there's an emergency request at the end of, that's an added on motion. So maybe we'll do that first since you have to leave. So I'll do the discussion of any future approval of monetary requests out of other committees or emergency requests. So this came through today. It's an emergency allotment.
Can you enlarge that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's an emergency allotment supporting access because of the SNAP and food bank shortage and all of that. They're suggesting that neighborhood councils put some money aside to help. So what I'm going to propose we do is we take $3,000 and put it into an MPG fund, which then we can go have our homeless liaison as well as myself will find out, not advertise this. It's only going to be for like Toberman and the ones that are supplying food to the federal government workers, the SNAP recipients, and offer this and have $3,000 put aside, and then we'll award it in December. But we'll put $3,000 in the MPG fund specifically for this.
Lori's got her hand up.
Lori?
Yeah, thank you, Melanie. Just to let you guys know, Melanie and I have been talking, and along with Ray, because of the current situation, and I've got information in my homelessness liaison report about the issue of food distribution. So I think this is a great start for, and I'm glad the city clerk let you know that you could do this through NPG. Melanie and I are going to get together and review all the local food pantries that are 501Cs and discuss which ones that we would reach out to and support that. So right now, Melanie's just putting this as a placeholder, and then we'll review what the different programs are and the needs are, and then present it to the board to decide which ones. But these organizations will still have to apply for the NPGs, if I'm understanding
Yeah, they
it
have to
correctly.
do an MPG application.
Right.
Yeah.
But normally we put an open call out for NPGs, but what I'm understanding you're saying, Melanie, is you and I are going to discuss this, review them, and then we're actually going to reach out to a couple of organizations and ask them to apply. We're not going to put an open call out.
Because we're going to have everybody under the sun applying.
That's right. And I hope everybody is on board with this. I think it's a great start for us to help the community.
Oh, we have to. There's nothing that it's got to be done. And like you said, there's Toberman, Feed and Be Fed. There's all these others out. We choose.
I'd rather not mention the different names because Melanie and I are going to do the review, and I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's not even name the different organizations we'll be talking to till we have a chance to go through it, if that's okay with you.
Yep.
Vic?
Two things. One, is there going to be enough time? Because does there have to be a certain minimum period of time, like 30 days or whatever it might be?
No.
For applications.
This is an emergency type situation.
Okay. And two, I know at some point, and they may be dead by now, but I know at some point there were some bills being proposed by various people to fund only SNAP or something like that throughout the shutdown. So keep watch on that, because if that happens, it may not be necessary to do it through this means.
I don't understand that, what you're saying at all.
If there is, I heard about a bill that was supposedly out there. I think it was by somebody by the last name of Holly, that was supposed to only fund SNAP through the shutdown.
They won't vote on it.
No, the president has revoked that. He is not going to.
If you will let me finish.
Okay.
If there is anything like that is in process and passes before any MPG like this one is awarded, then this NPG may not be necessary because it will be funded through that other bill. So what I'm saying is just watch those sorts of things to see if this becomes unnecessary because of that.
Vic, I appreciate what you're saying.
not just feeding SNAP recipients. The federal government workers are being fed by Toberman right now, to be specific. Federal workers are being fed, SNAP recipients are being fed, and military are being fed right now through Toberman. And
okay, but this thing you're showing on the screen is for SNAP. It is not
No, it
for those
isn't.
other things.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't. It's Federal Department of Nutrition and representatives. You may have recent message, Office of Clerk. It says examples of eligible are food pantries and food distribution program, meal service program.
Okay.
School.
It kind of, to me, it kind of implies when it says the SNAP at the beginning that that's what this is for, but okay.
No, the way she's worded it, she's mentioning that's because of the problems with SNAP. But can I add, even if SNAP all of a sudden, you know, a miracle happens and it's funded, you still have millions of people who are now going to have their health care doubled and tripled, and they're going to be hurting. There is still going to be need for a food program, regardless of the status of SNAP.
Yeah, a lot of people are using food pantries right now, and I was just in shock after conversations I've had with the port commissioner today, and different conversations with people in the community, and then from a city councilman who I happened to be in an event that I was at this last weekend. He was telling me of all the problems that are arising in the community, and it's bad. So we really need to show posturing in the community to step up. That's what we're here for. That's what neighborhood councils were brought up to, stand up for stakeholders and see that there's issues and stand up for them, you know, for the community and all. And I think,
Melanie, where's your motion saying that you want to allocate 3,000 for NPGs? Do you have that in here?
no, I don't. This is as part of number on the agenda. It's down here, discuss 7, right?
Okay. So you're making that motion now?
Yes, and I'm making that motion now for $3,000 to be set aside out of the $14,000 unallocated funds, to pull 3,000 and put it in NPG column to be designated for the food bank.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion on this?
Thank you.
So call for the vote. Vic,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Kane, can you speak?
Aye.
And Melanie, yes. Okay, so that will be allocation of that, and then we'll
Just send me the words.
already. Now, the next item is our budget. And you'll see here where we have unallocated $14,892.81. So we can afford to put $3,000 out of that over into the MPG column. So this is what we have. And any discussion at all? Who wants to do this?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? And I got everything on here, the tree lighting and all that. I just have to wait for Chris, when you guys have a quorum for next month, hopefully, to do the park or the movie stuff. So call for the vote. John,
Yes.
Vic,
Aye.
Melanie, yeah, Kane,
Aye.
okay. So, and then look what we have. We have an MER.
No way. I'm glad I'm sitting down.
And we almost didn't, because she hadn't cleared the credit card charges, you know, to check, to affirm the charges. So I emailed her and I said, we have our budget and finance meeting tonight. Could you please like clear the charges? And she did it, so. But there we go. And then why isn't page 2? Oh, there's page 2. And the only thing we've got outstanding is he hasn't cleared his check yet for audio, and the $1,000 check hasn't cleared yet for
Pollyann.
Pollyann Bakery for the Candy Cane Lane. So who wants to move this?
All right, I'll move it.
I'll second.
Okay. Any discussion? So, John,
Aye.
Vic,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Melanie, aye. Go back to this. And now the next thing is the $100, approval of $100 for the homeless liaison for printing flyers for food assistance. Lori?
You want me to explain it?
Yes.
Okay, and I've also talked to John with outreach on this because of the work that we're doing and making lists of places where people can find pantries, food pantries, things like that. And I talked to Ray, we want to print flyers to hand out at the winter events we're going to be at. So people have that information since not everybody's online to receive that. And so we just put a $100 placeholder there to print flyers for those events. Any questions?
Nope.
So who wants to move this? John?
Okay, I'll move it.
And I'll second again.
Okay. Any further discussion? If not, John,
Yes.
Vic,
Aye.
Kane,
Aye.
Melanie, aye. Discussion and approval of any other monetary out of committee, none. Discussion about future events or money requests that might come up this fiscal year. The only thing I know of, John, is that you guys, Chris has got to be on it for the movies and stuff. He talked about something about, he's told me that they're looking at doing a movie in January.
It ain't gonna, no, we can't, because I told him it's gotta be sometime in February. The
In
first couple of weeks of February.
Okay, and something about it being indoors instead of outside.
Yeah, we would do it. Okay, so I talked to Michael, and we could use the auditorium at Peck Park with their screen, and they have the Blu-ray. And being that it's in February, I think it'd be too cold. I know that Bogdanovich has activities at night, in the wintertime.
Right.
So I figured, that Michael doesn't. So they would lay down, we already discussed, Mike and I discussed it, that they can lay down some floor mats in front of the stage, and the kids can sit, lay down there, and then we could put chairs for the parents. And we could set a table in the back for us to pass out the popcorn and stuff. And we'll do maybe another thing for the, maybe socks or something like that. That's what we got to discuss.
Okay, so make
still.
sure that in January, December, January, that they get the stuff, because you got to get the thing from Swank and all of that too, the movie, the invoice and all that, and we have to do a 30-day approval on this. It's got to be the 30 days in advance.
That's why we want to do this. We'll discuss this. Matter of fact, we will be on Zoom for the November and December. Yeah, Vic had a heart attack.
So
Vic had a heart attack that I said that to him in our issues meeting.
So just make sure that you guys, are ahead of the game here on this because you've got
Yeah.
working with the lady at Swank and all of that. And then that way we can get it all approved from Anna and not have.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we did get all that, so that way, um, before the board meeting in December,
Okay.
that we can have it all ready to go, so they vote on it, and then you can do your thing and send it in, and well, we'll get you the invoices for, well, basically we need, how much it costs. We'll just have to find out at Costco. I'm sure the popcorn went up, like everything else.
Yeah, because they're gonna want the Swank invoice with the event submission, and then also the popcorn stuff, what we're buying and all of
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Just
I
kind of
don't know
guess.
if the movie's gone up this time again. I don't know.
So, yeah, and so any of that, and if your guys are gonna do one in June, then that has to be like prepaid and all that before June hits, because as you know, our finance stuff all cuts off like that second week in June. We can't pay anything for anything anymore.
Yeah. I got to talk with I'm thinking if we do the February one, that's great. And then when the July budget hits, we'll look in July, then, when everybody's, when we're at the fiscal starting of the fiscal year,
Yeah.
that youth and outreach meeting, we'll talk about doing one either, end of September or sometime in the beginning of October. That gives us plenty of time to get that going.
Vic has his hand up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
just not for this item, but I'm just doing it for the record that I need to leave for the 6 o'clock
Okay, for your meeting.
that I have. So I am leaving now.
Okay.
And you
All right.
you are. I just want to make sure you are co-host, so you will take over as host automatically.
Okay. Alrighty. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Vic. So yeah, I just think, doing a movie in February that gives us only March, April, May, and then another one. I told it was Chris. I said we should just wait till the next fiscal budget and let's do one in September, October.
And then he had talked about doing something in San Pedro today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it again. We're looking at maybe, it's so much cheaper and it goes out to so many places, so many homes that we can do maybe, he had talked to them about a 2-page spread. So,
What would we put in it?
same thing we put in the newsletter.
And when?
I'm not sure. I'm not, we got to find out now what it.
Yeah, because where'd he go?
I'm sorry. Here, hang on 1 second. It's yeah, it saves money, but we still got to talk about it. We still.
It will save a lot of money. He's just got to have a plan and have, a date and
Right, and then we're
go in it.
And then he's, we might be able to do it with the money on a newsletter. We might be able to do it twice. See,
Yeah,
with the money there.
Josh quotes us.
Yeah, so that's why we got to find out. Chris has to talk to him some more. I mean,
Okay.
I love the newsletter.
Yeah, but $5,000 to do the newsletter is a lot of money.
Yeah, but in this one we can, if it's worth it to do the 2 pages or even, one side and a back side, we don't know. We got to see what he does for us. So.
Yeah. Okay. Already, I think that's pretty much it. So we're good. So anybody else have anything else at all? Any fees or anything? No.
Not that I know of. We don't have
Lori,
I don't know. We have
I have to.
Lori. You haven't, Kane. You have anything? Oh, go ahead, Lori.
Hi, Mel. I just got an email. They canceled the Thursday night meeting at the Scout Center.
Oh,
So I'm not coming down the mountain until Friday or Saturday, but
okay.
you and I can coordinate getting together and making a list and talking about which nonprofits we want to discuss. Maybe we can have a conversation over the weekend. So, will this be on the agenda for the board meeting? No, right?
It'll be on for the $3,000.
Okay, but we don't have to discuss the details yet,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
And the other thing is that the details can come back to budget and finance next month, and it doesn't have to be sorted out at the board meeting. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's where we've sorted out the applications for MPGs anyway, and then just presented them to the board to vote on. So we can just do it that way.
Can you hear me?
No, because you're muted.
I'm muted.
There you
Now
go.
you're okay now.
Okay, so we'll need to also get together with whatever we want to put on the flyer, maybe like a half sheet to save money for outreach. And I'll talk to John, maybe making a poster for the booth to say, ask us about food assistance. So people know that because sometimes people will walk by the booth going, okay, neighborhood council, whatever. But if you have something that says, we have information on food assistance, maybe they'll stop and talk with us and we can hand out. Yeah, so but I'll get together with John. I can just make a poster. I don't mind spending the money on that, but but we just have to wait because the food pantry stuff is changing every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
I know. Even my list has kind of changed for Toberman, but talking to John, he said just leave it the way it is right now, because even if it's not what they need right now, they may need it again. So just keep the same in the group.
I shared with Melanie that there's groups that are asking specifically for foods for Thanksgiving dinner. I think people are hurting so badly. I just want to get them the food they need to put on their table. I'm not really looking at them being able to put a turkey on the table with all the fixings on it.
Right.
I think it's
more immediate need is them to eat, not necessarily Thanksgiving.
Right. So we'll discuss, whoever we donate to, we choose, we give a grant to, they can do whatever they want. Unless I don't know if we can ask them to earmark it specifically, Mel, on the MPG grant for general food or and it's not just food that people need. They need, toothpaste and paper supplies, things like that. So, okay. Well, but we'll get together next week. Okay.
Yeah. When we do that poster, Lori, we can always let Caesar do it over at the place that I had done. What
do you mean? I was going to paint it.
Wow.
That's what I do up here in the mountains. I'm water painting.
Yeah. That's why I thought when you told us you're going to come down from the mountain, I thought we were going to have to start singing, she'll be coming round the mountain. She comes. Anyway, but let's do that. We could do that. And Mel, I could talk to Caesar. I know we've got, the paper and the ink and stuff, but if he could make the extra flyers, because we're going to have the candy cane and Christmas tree lighting. So I could ask him what he would cost. What are you thinking, Lori?
Who's Caesar, John?
He's a printer that's over on.
Rather than Priority.
I know, but what printer is he? Is he MGM or that one?
Yes.
Okay. They're great.
Yeah, they are. And he did. You remember the poster that they did with the dogs and everything when you gave me the pictures, right?
Yeah.
$90.
What?
And it's on a fiberglass laminate.
We'll have $100 for the flyers, but hopefully if he can do it cheap, where we don't have to spend that whole $100 on flyers, that would be great.
I wasn't looking for something fancy for the poster because we're think about it. We just want to tell people, stop and talk to us about food assistance.
But he could do something real quick and put it
Okay.
on there for us. And
All right, well then Mel and I will connect with you, John, on that too, before we,
okay, yeah.
Thank you. I
And
really
I'll
appreciate this.
talk to him and see what he wants for a couple of, for maybe 200-300 flyers to see what he would cost us. He might just say, I'll make a run for, I'm not going to tell him what we have for a budget. I'm just going to say, hey, what do we have? And then let him
Ask
know.
him how much and say if he does a poster and does those flyers, how much would it be?
I think also too, if you tell him what it's for, I think he might offer you a
He
nice
might-
discount. Yeah.
Might be $100 to do the flyers and the poster.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Sounds
So
good.
he might
kids.
help us for that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Lori, when you guys do the thing, the flyer, let me
Yeah.
see, make a copy or something, and I could take it with me down
Yeah.
there and show them.
I got to get it to you early too, because I'll be out of the country. So.
That's fine. Yeah. And even if you send it, I'll print it on my printer.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
I think we're good. So,
Thank you.
is everybody good? So we can,
Everybody's good. Yep.
alrighty. So I'm going to stop the share and then I'm going to,
Okay.
it ends the meeting at 6:07 and
And you got Emily and Mars.